Welcome back to the channel. Today we've got our daily NBA predictions here for Monday, February 3rd. We've got 10 games in the National Basketball Association for today, and of course we've got predictions for every single one of them. And folks, before we get into the predictions, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily NBA predictions here on the channel. You know, we've been doing this every single day since opening night back in October, and obviously here we are still in February, taking this all away to the playoffs, where obviously Luka Doncic and LeBron James are going crazy in the postseason. Also, folks, make sure to join us for our college basketball best bets. Those were posted a couple hours ago here on the channel. Make sure to check that video out. Link is in the description down below. Also in the description is our UFC 312 predictions with Dricus du Plessis and Sean Strickland in the main event for the UFC Middleweight Championship from Sydney, New South Wales, Australia. Okay, on to the first of our 10 games today in the National Basketball Association, and we're going to start things off here in Charlotte, North Carolina for the Charlotte Hornets and the Washington Wizards. Okay, well, I don't know if the Wizards are now going to have the worst record in NBA history, because what are we doing, Minnesota? Yeah, the Wizards go on the road to Minnesota and win. Okay, that's great. Guys, if we can say anything, it's that the Wizards aren't winning back-to-back games. Now, this is an opportunity. I'm not going to lie. This is more than an opportunity because they get the lowly Charlotte Hornets without LaMelo Ball. And the Wizards have done it before this season, winning back-to-back games. You go back to October, where on the 28th and the 30th of that month, they beat the Atlanta Hawks in back-to-back basketball games. But now they go into Charlotte, North Carolina for this game. The Hornets are pretty banged up. No LaMelo Ball for a couple more games. Cody Martin, I don't think, is playing. So isn't Josh Okogie off the bench. So you get this Miles Bridges-led Charlotte Hornets team, obviously with Brandon Miller out for the rest of the season with injury, and this is a Hornets team that hasn't won a game since January 5th, where they hosted the New Orleans Pelicans, and on the 29th of January, they had a very disappointing performance at home. They lost to the Brooklyn Nets, and again, this has been a Miles Bridges-led team, you know, since the Ball injury, obviously, and with Miller being out as well. So every single game since LaMelo's absence, Miles Bridges has put up at least 25 points or 23 points in every one of those games. Can the Wizards string together back-to-back victories? I don't think so. It looks like Alex Sarr is going to be out for this game. He's already been ruled out with an injury. Marvin Bagley is out as well, if you care. So Jonas Valanciunas just steps back into the starting lineup. The question is, again, can the Wizards win back-to-back games? I don't think so. If this game was in DC, I'd actually consider taking the Wizards, even though it kind of feels like the Wizards kind of play worse at home because everyone at Capital One Arena is cheering against the Wizards. Hell, again, they are giving Bronny James MVP chants in the Wizards building, which is crazy. I wish I was there for that. But anyways, I'm taking the Hornets to win this game. They are 4.5-point favorites, which does seem like a lot for Charlotte, but at the same time, they are playing a Wizards team that is historically bad. Don't get confused that, oh, they won a game in Minnesota. Stuff happens sometimes, I guess. The Hornets are still the better basketball team, even without LaMelo, with Brandon Miller still out for the season. Yes, the Charlotte Hornets are still better than the Washington Wizards. Just Washington's not stringing together back-to-back wins. You know, everything that needs to go right for the Wizards to win a basketball game? It sounds harsh, but I'm serious. They brick so many shots. They cannot hit from beyond the arc. They don't shoot free throws well. Hell, ask Kyle Kuzma. And they're about to trade a couple guys away soon, too. I expect Valanciunas to be dealt in the next couple days for the trade deadline. Just not the Lakers. Not the Lakers, though. We want Walker Kessler or DeAndre Ayton or Jakob Poeltl. Not Jonas Valanciunas. Charlotte Hornets win the basketball game, and they cover the 4.5 points as well. Next up, we go to Detroit, Michigan for the Atlanta Hawks and the Detroit Pistons. This is where I think the Hawks finally break the losing streak. Finally. Okay? This has been a crazy decline recently out the Atlanta Hawks. They have lost 8 straight games, and now they head into Detroit against the Pistons team that has won back-to-back. I get that. I'm still taking Atlanta to go in there and pick up the win here. The Hawks aren't going to lose out. You know, they're not going to continue to lose games until the end of time. They have to get one eventually. And I think this is the one where they get it. They were very competitive on Saturday in Indiana. They were, and they just didn't come out, you know, obviously on the right end of that one. Trae Young, who got snubbed, you know, for the All-Star game, puts up 34 and 17 in that game, and his team still loses. And yes, Jalen Johnson's absence still sucks. I want to see this team get Brandon Ingram in the next couple days. I don't know if it's going to happen, but Atlanta, for as bad as they've been, they're on an 8-game losing streak. They're still in a very good position to make the play-in. A very good position, considering how the Bulls just got very much worse than they were a couple days ago. The Hawks are somehow only 3 games out of the 6th seed after an 8-game losing streak. It goes to show you how bad the Eastern Conference is once you get past those top 5 teams. It's atrociously bad, okay? So Atlanta's still definitely in a lot of things, so it still makes sense for them to buy at the deadline. I mean, they can easily still find themselves in a spot where they don't even have to play in the play-in, but their floor this season is another play-in berth, which, again, not exactly where you want to be every single season, but at least Atlanta's still there. I think they go into Detroit and win. The Pistons with back-to-back victories over the Bulls and the Mavericks, sure, that's fine, but they're just going to have to keep up with this Hawks team that's going to score a lot tonight. Again, Detroit's not a bad team by any stretch of the imagination. They've been very good all year long. When they played Atlanta earlier this year, they played them in Detroit, and they won by 1 point, very close game. This is the second matchup between these two squads, and they went to Atlanta on the 22nd and won 2. The Hawks are just due as a whole, guys. You know, the Pistons' loss on the 22nd was the second of their 8-game losing streak that they're currently on. Their last victory for the Hawks is on the road in Boston. So again, the Hawks are more than due. This is just their spot right here. Again, they're not losing out. They're going to find a way to win eventually, and this is their night right now. Give me Trae Young, who has been on a vengeance. Is that the right word? I think. He's been looking for vengeance. That's probably proper wording. Since being snubbed, and I'm taking Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks to go on the road to Detroit, Michigan, and beat the Detroit Pistons. If you want to take plus 3.5, take it. Don't mind the money line though. For a dog team that has been cashing for us all year long, plus 145 for the Atlanta Hawks. We go on to our next one. We go to Madison Square Garden for the New York Knicks and the Houston Rockets. Hesitantly, give me the New York Knicks. I do like the Rockets, but right now I don't know what the hell's going on. Back-to-back road losses. The Memphis loss, that's fine. The Brooklyn losses, no, that was a home game. No, Brooklyn went into Houston and won. Yeah, I don't know, man. That one, I sing the praises of the Rockets for weeks after hating on them for the entire year. And what do? They lose to the Brooklyn Nets. What? The Nets, guys, by the way, if you're keeping track at home, are only 4 games out the play-in. Yes, the 16-33 Brooklyn Nets are 4 games out of the play-in. Oh, Nick Claxton, loved to see him in Los Angeles. He would be, I saw a comp on Twitter, it was hilarious. Nick Claxton is if Jackson Hayes was actually good at basketball. I like Jackson Hayes, but I like Nick Claxton more. So, hey, first round pick, we'll throw you Trey Jemison. At this point, let's not give up Hachimura. Let's see whatever we can do to trade that first round pick that we still have. Couple G League guys for one of these tanking squads. Give them some cash. Hell, throw Storm and Norman Nixon. Throw his stats in there as well, and maybe add some historical value to the Brooklyn Nets. I don't know. Anyways, taking the Knicks here to beat the Rockets. Back-to-back losses for the Rockets just don't bode well for me. New York lost to the Lakers, but LeBron James is just that good. We picked the Lakers to cover in that game, and obviously they went outright. That's fine. The Knicks are dealing with that injury to OG Anunoby. He's not, doesn't have a season-ending Achilles injury that we thought he might have had on the spot. He's just out for a couple games. Wouldn't expect him to play tonight. But again, don't bet against the Knicks in big-time regular season basketball games. Now, we did it in the last one, and obviously we won with Los Angeles. But Thibodeau, he's... you got to think about the mind of Tom Thibodeau here. Oh, we just lost a regular season game, a big one on ABC against a good basketball team in the Western Conference. What happens next? Oh, we get another Western Conference team? Another kind of nationally televised game, NBA TV? Oh, we're not losing back-to-back regular season games. This means more than the postseason. Got to win. New York at home. They're going to cover the 5.5 points. Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Karl-Anthony Towns expect to play at least 40 minutes tonight. Give me the New York Knicks to win at home and cover the 5.5 points against the Houston Rockets. Next up, we go to Memphis, Tennessee for the Memphis Grizzlies and the Sacramento Kings and the San Antonio Spurs, a Spurs team that just traded for De'Aaron Fox. Now, obviously, that trade just happened yesterday. Fox will not be making his debut for the Spurs today. He's not on the injury report. I would be very surprised if he plays. They haven't ruled him out. I doubt De'Aaron Fox makes his debut today. I highly doubt it. That would be really quick. I would expect him to make his debut probably Wednesday in Atlanta. It's a nationally televised spot. That's where I assume De'Aaron Fox will make his debut for the Spurs. For now, I would still think Chris Paul will be starting for San Antonio. I'm surprised Chris Paul wasn't in that trade package. I was surprised that he didn't get sent to Chicago and then an immediate buyout spot, but he's still in San Antonio. He will have to be coming off the bench, but I think this will probably be his last rodeo, obviously starting with De'Aaron coming in on Wednesday. Give me the Grizzlies. Memphis didn't think they were going to go to Milwaukee and win without Ja Morant, but they keep proving everybody wrong without Ja. This is a very good team with Ja Morant or without Ja Morant. They're a good squad. Because Jaren Jackson Jr. is an all-star for a reason. He's been great all year long, and the rest of this team is just really good, man. Again, I question how good Memphis will be in the postseason, just like how I question how good Houston will be in the playoffs as well. But regular season-wise, yes, Memphis is a very good basketball team. I do think Houston's slightly better, even though, yes, they just beat Houston. I think Houston in a 7-game series probably does get Memphis, but they do feel like, honestly, the two fraudulent teams in the top 5, let's just be honest. Like, does anyone expect Memphis or Houston to win a title this year? No. But in this one, give me the Grizzlies at home. Again, coming off that huge victory where they went on the road to beat Milwaukee, second half of a back-to-back, but Jaren Jackson Jr. is just that guy, man. 37 points in that victory on the road in Milwaukee, winning the game by 13 points. Do the Memphis Grizzlies in that spot? I think they win this game at home against the Spurs. Wembanyama might not even play. I believe he's questionable for this one. Check the injury report. Yeah, Wembanyama's questionable with an illness. I doubt De'Aaron makes his debut tonight, so give me the Memphis Grizzlies. Give me the Grizzlies against a potentially short-handed Spurs squad. I like the Grizzlies at home to win and cover the 5.5 points. But yes, San Antonio did just get exponentially better. We'll see if they can find a way to the play-in. They're only 2 games out right now of the Sacramento Kings in the 10 spot. They'll probably get there, but we'll see. De'Aaron makes them a whole hell lot better. Honestly, too, Zach LaVine to the Kings. No, some Kings fans don't like it, but it could be worse. Could be worse. The Kings go on the road now to take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Coming off this trade, they're not going to cover this line. Sacramento's lost back-to-back games to the Philadelphia 76ers and the Oklahoma City Thunder on the road. They return home on Wednesday, where I think Zach LaVine will make his debut, but LaVine's been out with personal reasons. I don't know when he's going to return. I can assume that's going to be fairly soon. But I obviously would not expect LaVine to play tonight in Minnesota against his former team. Obviously, it was a while ago, but his former team in the Timberwolves. Now, Minnesota's coming off that loss at home to the Wizards. It's by far got to be the worst loss all year for the Timberwolves. Close game, and the Wizards edge you out in the end. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I get they had injuries. It looks like Ant should be playing. Julius Randle is... Oh, I didn't see this. I didn't know Randle's going to be out for a while. But that's apparently a thing. Randle's out for a little bit now. Naz Reid questionable with a finger injury. Yeah, I'd expect Anthony Edwards to play, though. I would. I don't think Ant's going to sit out this one after the Timberwolves lost the other night to the Wizards. I'd expect him to get back on the horse and play this game. Again, no Julius Randle. We'll see if Naz Reid does give it a go. But taking on a Kings squad who has been struggling throughout this road trip. Again, back-to-back, or 4 of 5 games they've lost in the road trip, with their only victory being in Brooklyn, losing in Denver, losing at the Garden, losing at Philadelphia, losing at Oklahoma City. This is the tail end of that road trip, and I don't think they win it. Again, very end of the road trip, they're, dealt with that trade with De'Aaron Fox. They just want to get back home, get back to the West Coast. I think Minnesota takes advantage of the spot here, and I think Anthony Edwards has a big night. Again, Minnesota, I think, will be very determined to not lose this basketball game, obviously, after that embarrassing loss at home to the Wizards. It's not even like they went to DC and lost. No, they hosted the Wizards and lost that basketball game. Oh my goodness. It's atrocious. I think Minnesota gets it done. I know Julius Randle will not be playing, but I expect Ant to. Personally, I'd stay away from this game. We don't know if Ant's actually going to give it a go. I assume Ant's going to play, but if he doesn't, then you're kind of SOL here on the Timberwolves. Because with no Ant, no Julius Randle, then we're looking at another, Jalen McDaniels-led performance. And then what happens then? Exactly. DiVincenzo's still out as well. The Timberwolves are injured. That's why they are in the 7th seed right now. They're 27-22. Still playing fairly well with the injuries, obviously, and obviously with Karl Anthony Towns being traded in the offseason, still don't know why they did that. I'm going to take Minnesota, though, to still get it together and beat the Kings in the spot. I don't know what the future holds for Sacramento. They still got Sabonis, who's very good, but yeah, I don't know. They're going to be really dependent on DeMar DeRozan now, which I don't know. I think they're worse. I like LaVine, but guys, we just saw Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan play together. How did that work in Chicago? Playing? Hey, they're used to the play-in at least, right? Sacramento, get prepared. These guys have play-in experience. I just don't understand. Partially, yes, it was De'Aaron didn't want to play here, but man, your franchise guy gone just like that for Zach LaVine. I like LaVine, but man, that's brutal. And that contract, too. Ooh. Next, we go to the game of the day. The Oklahoma City Thunder host the Milwaukee Bucks, and obviously, we get another chance to watch the best player in the National Basketball Association. Now, shout out to Aaron Wiggins the other night for the Thunder, putting up 41 points for OKC in their home victory over the Sacramento Kings. 144-110 was the final. Shea still put up a casual 30 in that spot. And obviously, again, SGA, best player in the league, 9 assists in that game. Undoubtedly has to be the MVP at this point. Like, I get it, Jokic has good numbers, but no. It is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander's MVP to lose at this point. OKC is incredible, and SGA is by far the best player in the league. Again, we talk about, like, potentially, like, you know, with the Luka trade, who are the untouchable guys in the league? I can think of 3. Honestly, I can think of 3 players in the entire league that are straight up untouchable. SGA, Jokic, and Wemby. I don't know if you can find a 4th. Bronny James, maybe? Legitimately? No. Because Bronny's in a package with LeBron if he ever gets traded. I don't think, actually, the Lakers ever trade LeBron. I know people are talking about it. They're not. Trust me, guys, as someone who sat through the Kobe years, loved Kobe, favorite player ever, but, like, dude, the Lakers are very grateful to their star players. Like, superstar players. That's why Magic got a head coaching job at the end of his run. That's why Magic, when he came back from the AIDS, you know, he got a spot right back on the Lakers. The Buss family has always been very loyal to their superstars. Kareem finished out his entire career there. At the end of his career, obviously, Magic, Kobe. They gave Kobe a huge contract. They made him the highest paid player at 36, 37 in the NBA. And obviously the team was horrible after that, but they gave Kobe his money, right? So they're going to do the same to LeBron. Trust me, I don't think they're going to trade LeBron. Unless LeBron wants out, as long as LeBron wants to play in Los Angeles, the Lakers are not going to move LeBron James, okay? They're going to build a statue of that guy outside the arena. And that statue is going to go right next to the Luka one in 15 years. So, anyways, this game between the Bucks and the Thunder, though, I like the Thunder. Again, best team in the league for a reason, but Milwaukee just played last night. They lost to the Grizzlies at home, and now Milwaukee has lost 4 of 5 games, right? Lost in Inglewood to the Clippers. They go to Utah and win, where everyone wins at this point. They go to Portland and lose. They go to San Antonio and lose, and then they lose the Memphis Grizzlies as well. So 4 of 5 losses. Giannis has been doing literally everything for this team, but it's not enough. It just is not enough. I'm getting flashbacks to the Bucks in the beginning of the season, where Giannis was putting up crazy numbers, and they started the year, 2-8? I'm getting flashbacks of that, I honestly am. The Thunder are the all-around much better basketball team. Essentially, again, you put SGA on Dame, and then you put Jalen Williams on Giannis. The Bucks are screwed. Because now you force, Andre Jackson. You force TP. You force Brook Lopez to shoot. And yeah, those guys can hit shots, but they're going to take the ball out of the hands of Giannis and Dame. The Thunder play that good at defense, and then Shea comes back at you on the other side and scores 20 points in the first half. And then you're just looking at yourselves, we're down by 20 at halftime. The Thunder are that hard to beat, especially in Oklahoma City. They are still by far the favorites to win the NBA championship this year, even with the Doncic AD trade, which I think the Lakers got better. I wouldn't say their odds should skyrocket like some people are saying, and like Vegas, I guess, is reflecting on too. But I mean, hey, people are stupid. A lot of people are betting Lakers for the NBA championship. I think they can still win it, don't get me wrong. But I don't think this is I don't think you should be rushing to the books to bet the Lakers NBA championship right now. You shouldn't, because you should have done it 2 weeks ago when you could have got a better price. That's what I've been saying. Anyways, give me the Thunder to win this one. I know they're dealing with injuries. Cason Wallace, questionable. Alex Caruso left the Warriors game a couple nights ago. He's questionable. Jalen Williams is questionable. Jalen Williams is going to play. We'll be fine. And the Thunder should be able to get it done. SGA is just that good. The Bucks just played last night. They didn't look great against the Grizzlies. Jaren Jackson scored 38. The Grizzlies won the game by double digits, so that means the Thunder are going to win the game by double digits. Milwaukee's not even at home anymore. They have to travel all the way to Oklahoma City overnight for this one. Give me the OKC Thunder to win at home and cover the 10.5 points as well. Next up, we move to Denver, Colorado, as we've got the Denver Nuggets hosting the New Orleans Pelicans. Give me New Orleans actually to cover 11.5 points. The Nuggets' inability to play defense always scares me now. Sure, will they get it together for the postseason? Probably. But we're just asking New Orleans to cover 11. I think they do. You look what the Pelicans have been doing. Their last 5 losses, they have covered this line in their last 3 losses to the Celtics at home by 2, the Mavericks at home by 1, and then a Raptors loss on the road by 9 points. Asking them to cover here 11.5 against a Nuggets team that is phenomenal at scoring, obviously, with Jokic, with Jamal Murray, who's really turned it on in the last month. But the team still doesn't play defense. I mean, hell, you look at what the Nuggets have done recently. Close games all the time. I mean, a 3-point victory in Charlotte against the Hornets team we were talking about that's led by Miles Bridges, and that's without LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller. They go to Philly, barely win the game by 3 points. They lose in New York. They lose in Chicago. They lose in Minnesota by 30. They beat the Kings by 9 points. Last time they covered this line was January 21st against the Sixers at home in Denver, but that's before Tyrese Maxey went insane and made it his damn mission to put the Sixers on his back and lead them into the play-in. So, I'm not sold on the Nuggets right now. They're a good team, sure. Are they elite? Hell no. Because they don't play defense. They don't. They are just, hear me out, they're a better version of the Chicago Bulls with Zach LaVine. They just are. They don't play defense, they can score effectively. And obviously, much more effectively than Chicago can. But still, they're not all that impressive. The Pelicans surprisingly haven't been that bad. Zion's healthy all of a sudden now. Brandon Ingram getting closer to coming back. DeJounte Murray being out for the year really sucks. So that just means increased production out of both CJ McCollum and Trey Murphy III. We'll see how that goes. Again, Yves Messi playing the center position as well for the Pelicans. I don't mind New Orleans in the spot, plus 11.5. Yes, Denver's hard to beat in the Ball Arena at altitude, but I think the Pelicans keep this game competitive and stay in it. Give me the Pels, plus 11.5 on the road here in Denver, Colorado. Next up, we move to Salt Lake City, Utah, where we have the Utah Jazz hosting the Indiana Pacers. Give me the Pacers. Give me Indiana all day long here. Indiana, again, I keep talking about it. They are one of the hottest teams in basketball, if not the hottest team in basketball right now. They've lost 2 games since the calendar has flipped to 2025. One of those losses is the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the other loss is against the Spurs in Paris. Since returning from Paris, they've won back-to-back against the Detroit Pistons and the Atlanta Hawks, both at home. Now they go on this West Coast trip. They got to go to Utah, to Portland, to Inglewood to play the Clippers on Thursday, and then to Los Angeles to take on the Lakers as well. They should be fine in this road trip. I think they escape out of this with at least 2, obviously Utah and Portland, but Portland is playing good basketball right now. I will have logic, though, tomorrow on how I think the Pacers still go into Portland and win tomorrow night, though. And the logic really just consists of, the Trailblazers are playing tonight as well. But anyways, I think the Pacers go into Utah and win. The Jazz, I feel like they're going to start trading guys any minute now, but maybe not. For the first time in forever, Utah feels like they're very healthy, but Jalen Hood-Schifino has been traded to Utah, and he's still injured. Okay. Isaiah Collier, Colin Sexton, Lauri Markkanen, John Collins, Walker Kessler, they round out the starting 5. I'm surprised Jordan Clarkson hasn't been moved yet. I'm surprised Walker Kessler hasn't been moved yet. Hell, I'm surprised John Collins and Colin Sexton haven't gotten a look so that the young guys can step in and play for Utah. I think Indiana goes in here and blows them out, though. How are the Jazz going to keep up with this pace? I don't know. I'm serious. This game is going to be something that's going to be really important in this basketball game is Miles Turner's ability to shoot a 3. It was more than important in Paris because that's how you get the opposing team center obviously out the paint. That's what they were able to do. They weren't able to do the first game against Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs. So if Miles Turner can hit a couple threes, then you take out that paint presence in Walker Kessler, and now Kessler's got to come on the outside or go to the perimeter and obviously guard Miles Turner, opening up the lane for guys like Siakam and I guess Obi Toppin when he comes in off the bench. Benedict Mathurin, more of a shooter, but still, it opens it up for those guys as well. Tyrese for the float game as well. The Pacers should be fine in this spot. The Jazz don't really scare me at all for Indiana here. The Pacers find themselves now 7 games over 500. They are the 4th seed in the Eastern Conference, now chasing the Knicks and the Celtics for potentially 3-2. Shout out to the Pacers, man. I always thought this team was going to get it together this season. That's exactly what happened. We went through so many ups and downs early in the year with the Pacers. Oh, we're back. Oh, we're not back. Oh, Tyrese is bad. No, the Pacers have gotten it back together. Tyrese is that guy. Siakam's an all-star, and everything is fine with the Sirs. Give me Indiana on the road in Utah to win the game and cover the 6.5 points as well. Going on to the Chase Center in San Francisco, California, we have the Golden State Warriors taking on the Orlando Magic. I'm going to take the Warriors. The Warriors fans are in absolute shambles, by the way. Complete shambles that they can't land anyone through trade. Zach LaVine, you're thinking maybe. Jimmy Butler. By the way, Jimmy Butler's nothing but a diva, man. I mean, I don't want to go to Memphis. I'm not going to sign an extension in Golden State. Where are you going to go? Seriously, the Heat should just keep him and bench him. I'm serious. Bring him in off the bench and force him to play. I mean, you signed the contract, dog. You don't want to play anywhere now. Jimmy Butler's legitimately pissing me off. At first, I was like, all right, I understand Pat Riley, but I understand Jimmy Butler as well. You know what? You led this team for years. You took this team to the finals. You carried the squad, and you want out to end your career? Sure. But now you're not willing to go play with Curry and Golden State. You're not willing to go play for the second best team in the Western Conference right now in the Memphis Grizzlies, who have a really solid core together. What the hell do you want? You didn't want to go to Memphis to play with Ja and Jaren Jackson? What do you want now? They should send him to the Wizards. I'm serious. They should say, you know what, Washington? Jordan Poole doesn't look that bad anymore. We'll take Jordan Poole and Bilal Coulibaly for Jimmy Butler. We'll send you a second-round pick as well. Jimmy Butler and a second-round pick for Poole and actually, the Wizards probably wouldn't take that. They definitely wouldn't. Jordan Poole for Jimmy Butler straight up. That's what the Heat should do. They should honestly do it. At least they get something out of Jordan Poole. Legitimately. Or, hey, we'll take Valanciunas and Bilal Coulibaly. Valanciunas and Bilal Coulibaly for Jimmy Butler. Boom. Make Jimmy go play on the Wizards. See how he likes it. I'm serious. That's what they should do. Anyways, in this game, give me the Warriors. The Magic have been absolutely abysmal. It sucks because this team was really fun to start the year. Good defensive squad who just hasn't been playing well recently. They can't score. They've been struggling again with these guys coming off of injury. They have lost. Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They've lost 9 out of their last 10, with the only victory being against the Pistons at home. They're not going to go to Golden State, and when I get the Warriors, have been very disappointing, but the Warriors are still 500. Curry's playing. That's all you need to know. They should be fine. Draymond might be back at some point this week, not tonight, though. Quentin Post is in the starting lineup now for the Warriors, which is cool. Guy Santos is playing quite a bit now off the bench, these 2 G League guys for Golden State. But the Warriors right now are just playing the better ball, and the Magic, again, have just been completely ice cold in the games in San Francisco. So give me the Warriors. This low-key might be the cheapest Warriors game I have seen in a very long time. Guys, you can get in the building at the Chase Center now for $35 tomorrow. Game's usually like $100 to get in the building. It's crazy. I'm not going, but I'm just saying, like, it's someone who's, lives around here. It's insane. I don't live in this crap city that San Francisco is, but I'm around. Anyways, give me the Warriors win the basketball game, and they will cover the 2.5 points as well. Moving on to our final game of the night. Can the Trailblazers do it again? The answer is yes. They're going to beat the Suns in back-to-back games. Guys, I keep trying to tell you about the Portland Trailblazers. Probably the hottest team right now in basketball. I kid you not. Portland, they've been winning, and now they're only 5 games out the postseason. Now, are they going to get there? No. Or 5 games out the plan. I want to see DeAndre Ayton in a Lakers uniform. That's my expectation. The reality will likely be Robert Williams as a Los Angeles Laker. He's probably going to be legitimately for Trey Jemison in a first-round pick. Don't do that, please. Get Ayton, get Nick Claxton, get Jakob Poeltl, get Walker Kessler if you have to overpay. We need a center this season. It cannot be Jackson Hayes. And then we got Koloko and Trey Jemison off the bench. That can't happen, man. It can't happen. Anyways, just get DeAndre Ayton. I think the Trailblazers would not be opposed to start Donovan Clingan for the rest of the season. Portland has won a lot recently, though, right? Portland has won 7 out their last 8. They only lost being to OKC. They're coming off a win just on Saturday against the Phoenix Suns, with DeAndre Ayton leading their team in scoring against his former squad in Phoenix with 24 points. And that game wasn't particularly close. Portland wins it by 19 points. I think they beat Phoenix again. Phoenix is just weird. But again, right now, going into Portland is actually really difficult. And I think it sets up for a huge matchup tomorrow that we're going to have a lot to talk about in that game tomorrow, as long as Portland and Indiana both win today, between against the Pacers and the Blazers. That should be a fun game. The Pacers are hot. The Blazers are, red hot as well. That'd be a fun game. It will be, obviously, tomorrow. Phoenix, I just don't trust them on the road right now. Yeah, they're good. They went to Golden State and won, but surprisingly, yeah, going to Portland right now is tougher than going to Golden State and winning. So give me the Blazers. I get it. The last time they played Phoenix was the second half of back-to-back for the Suns, but Portland just beat them, and they beat them by 30 points, 20 points. So they got all the confidence in the world. We talk about the guard play being phenomenal for Portland, and it is right now. Anfernee Simons, Shaedon Sharpe off the bench, and Scoot Henderson off the bench. It's been phenomenal for Portland. They're getting a lot out this second unit, and the Blazers are looking really good. This is the best they've looked all year long. Again, are they making the plan? Definitely not. But this is a hot Blazers team, and I think they stack back-to-back victories together here against Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal off the bench, and the Phoenix Suns. We'll see if the Suns can get Jimmy Butler, but ultimately, I don't think that's going to happen, because that would require Bradley Beal to waive the no-trade clause, and I don't think that's happening. So where does Jimmy go? I legitimately don't know. Milwaukee? Maybe? It would have to be like a Chris Middleton trade? I'm just trying to think, because like cap room, it just doesn't work anywhere. I'm serious. They should send him to Washington for Bilal Coulibaly and Jonas Valanciunas. Legitimately, they should do that. And now I don't know if Washington takes that anymore. Or they buy out Jimmy and Jimmy's just a free agent and he signs on a vet minimum. I don't know where he's gonna go. I don't think he's gonna play basketball for the rest of the year. He's acting like a diva. What can I say? I like Jimmy, but I'm just gonna be honest. He's acting like a diva right now. Regardless, those are our NBA predictions here for Monday, February 3rd. Folks, if you haven't yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. We'll be back tomorrow again for more daily NBA predictions here on the channel. Make sure to join us for our UFC 312 predictions and, of course, our college basketball best bets that were posted earlier today as well. So, folks, thank you all for watching, and Mamba forever.